You know, it's been a while since anything's happened around here. I wonder if... Oh man. How long was I out for? And what happened? All I saw was a flash of blue light, and then... God damn it. Scrappy Scavengers is Klei's first hybrid quality of life and content update. I'll just get this out there right away. This new format for updates is pretty good. Having content being released but still with janky mechanics needing tending to, or the opposite, quality of life patches released for the game but without any actual content to play, both left the game feeling lacking in various areas. Quality of life updates by themselves don't really add any playtime or anything to check out. So combining the two formats together, alongside lowering the overall amount of updates, makes each update more of an event, and a more significant addition to the game. The biggest thing that SS adds is a new boss fight. Remember the Nightmare Werepig or Daywalker, a giant mutated werepig you can find bound and gagged in the caves? Well, now he's back again, and he's managed to get trapped. Again. This time inside a giant pile of junk left behind by our favourite balding scientist who clearly isn't being environmentally friendly. The fight is triggered after defeating the Daywalker downstairs by rummaging around in Wagstaff's junk pile, eventually uncovering the buried werepig, who then proceeds to attack you for no reason. Again.
And next time on Ditzy Daywalker, stay tuned for when everyone's favorite porcine provocateur gets stuck in a trash pile and once again attacks his rescuer for no reason.
So I guess this is Don't Starve Together's newest running gag. Hilarious. Once the fight begins, the Daywalker will initiate by rummaging around in the trash, occasionally pulling out an improvised weapon or simply chucking some garbage at you. This is probably the biggest chance you'll get to deal damage. Many hits can be gotten in while the beast tries to find something fresh to shank you with. If your world is new, he'll pull out one of two weapon options, the axe or the shield. The axe does a wide sweeping attack that knocks you over, and is quite hard to avoid with base speed. The shield grants the boss a rapid charge move that also stuns the player, giving the werepig ample chance to combo you into an axe swing. The intended way to play around these attacks is to use your environment to your advantage, getting the werepig to charge into any collision object 3 times, including the walls that naturally spawn around the junkyard will break his shield. This gives you somewhat of an opening and lets you counter-attack. The junk piles that the boss throws can also stagger his charge. I really like what Klei is going for here, using the environment in the boss arena in a unique way. It's definitely an interesting fight, and certainly a different experience when compared to most combats in DST. But in practice, the fight is kind of boring. Most of it is just running back and forth, baiting out the pig's attacks, waiting for it to rummage through the junk pile, dealing some damage, running away, rinse and repeat. A shame. Something else that's unfortunately also kinda lame is the boss's drops. The focal point of its drops is the Horizon Expandinator, a wearable hat that makes the camera zoom out substantially. This is an interesting idea for an item, but the reality is this is something that can be easily replicated with client mods. People have been doing this for a while now, and they'll continue to do so even with this item in the game. Considering you have to go to considerable lengths to even get the thing at all, it's quite a disappointing use of your head slot. Despite zooming out your camera and making the game look like a shot from Utopia UK, it doesn't increase your map reveal radius. This is a sorely missed opportunity, but even if it did have this extra functionality, you're probably going to have most of the map reveal by the time you defeat Pig 2, especially if you're a Chad wandering drone main. The beast also drops its pauldron as a hat. Let's take a look at its stats. But that's not all to do with this boss, shockingly. After Celestial Champion is defeated in your world, the boss will gain a third attack that it can gain by rummaging in the junk piles. Brandishing a deadly laser, the Daywalker can blow you to smithereens in an instant. Worse still, it can easily combo you to death with this move alongside the other two. Worser still, I'm not really sure what the intended way to actually dodge this attack is. Unlike the Scrappy Werepig's other moves, it can't be blocked by walls. The laser will go right through and hit you anyway. Circle strafing doesn't work, since the beast turns too quickly and can easily punish you with its other moves. You can run directly away from the boss, but this only serves to make the fight even slower and more drawn out. Fun. After CC is defeated, the boss's drops are also augmented. Instead of a Wagstaff repair kit, it'll give one of 4 possible blueprints for the post-CC Wagstaff tech, including a new item this update added. One final thing you might notice in the junkyard is a dead robot. One final thing you might notice in the junkyard is a dead WOBOT. Jesus Christ. Call me Isaac Newton because that was some low-hanging fruit. WOBOT is basically the sweepy from Oxygen Not Included. It'll suck up items on the floor and deposit them in any chests that already have a stack of the respective item. It basically means you can drop items on the floor near your chest area and they'll be automatically sorted for you. Easy peasy. There's just one problem. WOBOT is completely broken and must be repaired before use. This shouldn't be an issue. It needs those fancy schmancy Wagstaff repair kits used for the Warbus, added last update. And everything you need to craft them, electrical doodads and scrap, is lootable from the junk piles. But wait, there's no way to get the blueprint for these without looting it from one of the Wagstaff camps you can find once rifts are active. So basically you find everything you need to have an organized base, except you need a stupid blueprint that you have to get from a stupidly long quest line. Why? That's such a massive cock tease for no reason. You can get one repair kit by killing the Scrappy Werepig before CC, which is something, but even so, that only lets you repair the WOBOT once. You'll need multiple repair kits if you want to use it regularly for more than a couple of days. This is all without mentioning how confusing it is to give the player something they won't be able to use for an extremely long time. But with that being said, WOBOT is nice, especially when combined with a certain late game craftable this update added. Anything to take away from the tedium of organization. Acid Rain, my beloved. Fortunately, or maybe unfortunately, this update contains several changes to the ever-annoying Acid Rain mechanic. Firstly, the grotto and archives are now exempt from being routinely drenched in sulfuric acid. At least there's one place underground where your basing plans aren't completely ruined. On the contrary, Acid Rain will now empower basilisks, making them hunger for nitra. Carry any of this resource in your inventory and they'll attempt to steal it from you and consume it. A side benefit of this is that bats will sometimes drop the resource even if they haven't stolen any from you. This is actually quite an interesting mechanic, and I honestly enjoy seeing different weather events have more unique effects on the game world. Thankfully, there's a brand new counter for all this acidic nonsense. Slimy Salve is a craftable item that gives you complete resistance to all acid effects, including armor degradation, health drain, and food spoilage. It's fairly expensive and gives you half a day of resistance, but I still don't see the point to this acid rain mechanic as a whole. Sure, you can counter it with either the salve or the umbrella, but why bother? Just leave the caves. It provides absolutely nothing of value and just serves to be annoying. Annoying and mildly deadly. With that being said, the bats dropping nitra is a step in the right direction. On the topic of spraying things with chemicals, this update also added an item called Embalming Spritz. While extremely expensive to craft, this item lets you spray plants, effectively freezing them in place. Forever. They'll no longer produce resources or food, but won't be susceptible to burning or bright shade infestations, effectively turning them into decoration. Handy for mega bases, though I can't help but think of all the trolling potential it allows. Imagine rocking up to someone's base and spraying all their berry bushes. That's almost as brutal as killing someone's pet beefalo and eating it.
Angela, he's my friend.
Yes. And it's delicious.
Sharkboi, or Frostjaw, is a boss I forgot to mention before. Basically, if you go fishing in this random ice hole you can find in the ocean, he'll be like, "Oi, oi, oi, that's my fishing hole, mate," and try to kill you. Once brought to the brink of death, you can give him fish in exchange for an item that can teleport your boat across the whole ocean. Pretty cool fight that's honestly fun, and while the item isn't the most broadly useful thing, it's great for getting to remote places in the ocean, like the Monkey Island on a whim, alongside your boat, which is presumably full of gear. You can get a decent few via trading with the fish you caught to spawn the boss in the first place, but it might be worth bringing some bait to help catch some more. Ice surfaces in this game are now slippery. This is an interesting change that turns the Sharkboi fight into an RNG check simulator. It's kind of a random mechanic to add after all these years, but there's definitely potential for an ice biome that appears in the ocean during the winter, or something like that. To be honest, it's nice to see some more details like this. They definitely make the world feel more alive. The chest expander is an exciting new item added in this update. The blueprint is obtained from the Scrappy Werepig or from Wagstaff's abandoned crap, the same places you get the Warbus blueprints from. The crafting recipe is brutal, needing scrap and pure brilliance, but also a celestial champion shard. CC only drops one extra, but that one is needed to activate the rifts and start that whole quest line, so you either have to deconstruct the Celestial Crown, which is a waste of a Celestial Crown, or fight CC twice. This requires waiting 20 days and doing the mentally draining moonstorms all over again, including building the Siphonator. The closest non-DST metaphor I could think of that equates to doing all of this again is waterboarding. But considering that the Warbus components need CC shards as well, you're basically required to defeat the boss multiple times. Painfully enough, once applied to a chest, it'll increase the stack size of all items inside to infinite? Yeah, that's like a big number, I think. I appreciate the effort of going back and making a new skin for every skin when the chest is expanded. It's a lot of extra artwork for something that already exists. Needless to say, this item pairs excellently with the WOBOT. Having an organized chest area is much easier with these new additions. It would be a bit nicer if WOBOT wasn't so annoyingly specific to get your hands on early. Alright, so this update has an absolute boatload of QOL updates. I'm going to go over the most notable ones in a quickfire round, because otherwise this video would be 5 hours long. Skill trees will now acquire points faster. Wagstar finds the static experiment faster after defeating CC. Basically, less waiting. Building the Lunar Siphonator is now cheaper. It doesn't need as much restrained static, which means you only have to do the Lunar Moonstorm event once instead of 3 times. In other words, they finally figured out that people don't like having to do the same boring event 3 times in order to progress. Great work, Klei. Multiple smaller changes have been made to make grinding Moonstorm resources easier. Rot now dissolves on the ground during rain. The Scaled Furnace can be used as an incinerator to destroy anything. Just mind the fumes. Multiple factors will now make the Celestial Orb appear quicker, i.e. less waiting. Odd Skeleton won't be built incorrectly randomly when in the atrium. The Sawhorse can actually be used as a Sawhorse. Cookie Cutters have odds to drop an extra shell. Less grind, me likey. Rock Jaws drop rocks. Okay, but side note, DST now suffers from the Night in the Woods problem. Why are there sharks that are sentient that can talk and are British and give you dead people's boots, but there are also sharks that are just sharks, normal-ass sharks? Why do both of them exist? Is it the ice? The ice must give them their power. Seed Shell does decent damage now. What's the Seed Shell, you ask? I don't know, I forgot too. Inventory containers don't drop on the floor when used, and also have a new animation. And those are the main ones. There's a ton more that are pretty nice, generally speaking. It's good that Klei is paying attention to pain points, or annoying things in the minutiae of gameplay that take away from the experience. At the end of the day, the experience of any game is a million little things all put together, so ultimately, all of them are important. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more content like this, go and watch my previous video about an oversight in the game that lets you survive literally forever as Weber. No inputs required, and of course without mods or commands. Before you ask, the thumbnail and title is satire. Here, I'll make it more obvious. I also have another video in the works that's a bit different from anything I've done before, but I'm really enjoying working on. I posted a teaser to my Twitter a little while ago. Have a teaser of that teaser. Anyway, thanks for watching, stay tuned, and I'll see you around.